Hi, this is Sherry Andrea, and thank you for listening. You can find me at sherryspeaks.com. And as a reminder, psychic readings are on sale right now for $15 for 30 minutes. You want an hour, it's $45, but the 30-minute ones are on sale for August for $15. I haven't done a sale in a while, and I just kind of figured it's summer. I'm here in Florida. It's summer. It's miserable. It's hot. I'm not happy. Nobody's happy right now. We're either getting hit with heat, floods, earthquakes, volcanoes. I mean, you name it. So, anyway, I figured, you know what? Let me do a sale. Maybe that'll help some people out. And I've heard from some of you that I only hear from when I have a sale. That's not a dig, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes when I put a sale on, that's when I have the good fortune of hearing from some of you that I don't get to hear from a lot. And that's when I get to find out how you're doing and what's going on with you. So that kind of makes me happy. I really enjoy talking to you guys. But anyway, you can you'll see the links below. You can go to my website, or you can go directly to the link that sends you to my scheduler. If you have any trouble, email me either by way of the scheduler or my website. And if you're having trouble scheduling it and paying for it, I can also do it for you. So if you send me an email and it's like, I'm having trouble, this is the day and time I want, I'll schedule it for you, and then it's easy to pay. I'll send you to the link where you can pay any method you want. Anyway, let me get to what I wanted to talk about, because it's going to be a short video. Okay, so I just want to tell you something. Like, my son's probably listening, and he's probably going to have something to say. But, okay, I like to share with you whenever, like sometimes when my higher self jumps into action or tells me something, and then tell you how it works out. Okay, so earlier today, my son went to do Uber delivery, and within 1 hour, he only got like one delivery, and he was bummed out. And then he came home, and a few hours later, it started raining. And, the thought popped in my head, but me personally, I was only joking. But the thought popped in my head from my higher self, because my higher self knows me and knows that I want to help him out. My higher self knows I'm not happy if he's not happy. My higher self knows that if he has something coming up that he needs money for, like a bill to pay or something, like his insurance, because he's a new car owner, his insurance, that I want to make sure everything goes okay for him. So the thought popped in my head, and this is how it works with your higher self. Thought pops in my head. But me personally, the way I was thinking of it, really, honestly, I was kind of half joking. So I sent him a text. It started pouring and raining. And for the last few days, it's been forecasts of rain, and we've gotten no rain. Finally, it rained. Oh my gosh, I was so happy. It was pouring, and I was like, you know what? You really want to make some money, you should go out now and do Uber delivery. Look, when I said it, though, it was thundering and lightning so bad. And I was like, when he responded, he was like, he responded almost annoyed, like, oh, fine, I'm going now. And I was like, no. I was just joking. He did. He left, and he went and he did Uber. And so when he came back, I was like, how did you do? 6 deliveries within, I think he told me, 2 hours. So now think about it. He was bummed out because when he first tried to do it around, I want to say, you hear that thunder, right? It's still, it's, it's not, you're hearing my son, like, goddamn, like, out of the blue. Like, what the hell? We couldn't get rain for the last few days, and now it's just like, I don't know, like, I swear, yesterday was, God, please. Like, it's been forecast for rain, and we're not getting any rain. Not at my house, anyway. Now, it's just like we're getting more than we bargained for. But anyway, so, like, early in the day, so when he went, it was, I want to say it was like 2 p.m. And I said, you were past lunchtime, so I wasn't really surprised that it was slow. But then when that thought popped in my head, and that's often the way it's going to go, a thought pops in your head. It's not you, it's your higher self. Your higher self knows what you want, knows what you desires, knows what you need. Thought pops in my head and goes, he should go now. It's raining. People don't want to go out in the rain. He'll make good money. That's the thought that popped in my head out of the blue. And so I texted him, but I texted him, like I said, I was like half joking. I was being funny because at the time it was thundering and lightning really, really bad. And so when he was like, fine, I'll go, I was like, no. Don't go yet. The storm's not far enough away. And before I knew it, he was gone. So he comes back. Of course, I want to know how he went, because by the time he comes back, like, I'm like, I knew by then. I was like, yeah, that thought, that idea came from my higher self. So of course, when he comes back, I want to know, how did it play out? You always want to know when your higher self gives you ideas. You always want to ask that question. Okay, my higher self said this. I think it was my higher self. But now let me match it up. How did it play out? Did it play out to my benefit? Did it play, or if you're getting, like, you get a thought for somebody else and you tell them, how did it play out for them? How did it match up? So that's how you get to know when it's your higher self. But that's also how you get to know how to work with your higher self, because you really do. It's not just about being able to hear your higher self. It's about getting used to how to work with your higher self, because your higher self is always going to be trying to help you out. So it's about, how do you remember to keep communicating, either out loud or quietly in your head, to your higher self, what you want, your wants, your desires, and then how to pay attention, listen for what your higher self is telling you, and then pay attention to how things are playing out. The more you do those three things, the easier it is for you to really, really get into easily working with your higher self. So it's like, first you get used to working with your higher self, but then you get to that point where you do it easily, effortlessly, where ideas just come to you. Okay, I'll give you another example. Yesterday, I was getting ready to leave the house, and I was getting ready to pull out of the garage. And so I'm backing out, and then I stop because my car is older. So sometimes I back out and then I stop, and I rev the engine a little to give it gas so it doesn't do that hesitation thing, because my car is like a 2001. So I did that. And before I went to put it in gear to go ahead and continue backing out to drive off, my higher self was like, my neighbor, she had a guest, I guess, because I noticed in her driveway a black Mercedes, and like all of a sudden thought popped in my head about Well, I can't really say if it was a thought popped in my head. I want to say I visualized in my head, I saw a visual of the black car backing out. And sure enough, when I went to start, put it in gear and start backing all the way out to leave, I look in my rearview mirror and the black car is backing out at the same time. So that is another example of how your higher self may communicate with you. That moment was kind of like a watch out, Sherry, that car's backing out. So imagine if I had a friend sitting in the passenger seat, she may have said, hey, Sherry, watch out. The car behind you is getting ready to back out. Okay, that's my higher self. That's what my higher self did. So that's another example, but you're trying to get used to catching the communication. And sometimes you'll miss it. Like, I half ignored it. I went ahead, like, even though I got that, guess what? I went ahead and started backing out anyway. I kind of half ignored it. I started backing out anyway. And when I looked in my rearview mirror, I saw they were backing out at the same time. That is an example of just, you need to get used to listening to your higher self. If your higher self tells you something, pay attention. Try not to ignore it. I still often do. And then after the fact, I'm like, oh crap, my higher self did try to tell me. So that's what you want to work on. You want to work on not missing the communication, because if you do, after the fact, you're going to go, oh shit, yeah, my higher self did try to tell me, and I kind of ignored it because I didn't think it was anything. You'll get more and more used to it, and you'll get more and more on top of it, so don't worry about that. But just remember, it's a process. It takes a while. This doesn't happen overnight, and that's what I keep trying to tell people. You can't get discouraged. You can't say, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to learn this. Yeah, you do. You know why? Because it's a process. It takes time. So yes, you do have time to learn this. You do have time to get good at it. Don't feel that way. It's a process. You're going to be working on a little bit every day. It's not going to take up a lot of your time, but it's a process, and you're going to be working on it for a while. So just stop thinking that it's supposed to happen overnight. It's not going to. All of us who do what I do, we have years and years and years into it. And it's a process. You get better and better and better all along. It's like you're always at some point good enough for somebody that needs your help. So there was a time when maybe I couldn't give as much information, but at that time, maybe I was good enough for somebody that needed my help. And then as I progressed and I got better and better, you get better and you're able to help people more and more and more. But at any given time, you may not be as good as the next person, but at any given time, you're good enough to help somebody. And the powers that be, the angels, the ascended masters, your higher self, will send them to you. So you have to remember that. Okay, well, it's getting late. I'm going to bed. You guys have a good night. Bye.